Just 25,000 people will fit inside Death Valley for the season opener. That's the lowest capacity since Governor Huey Long expanded the stadium into a horseshoe by disguising stands as dorm rooms in the north end zone. That's how one fan remembers his first game, and he hasn't missed many since. Here's Matt Houston.
Inside college football's cathedral.
It's miraculous almost.
There's a pew that's become something of a relic.
How more staunch can you get?
Home to a most devout follower.
It's almost like church. I mean, it's on Saturdays, that's what he does.
And plenty of worship has happened here.
You know, every game, hot, cold, rain, he's done it.
Jake Jacobs has cheered, jeered, and prayed from a seat nearby for decades. He'd be an elder statesman if his season tickets were anywhere other than Section 419.
Is Pat going to be there now? You hadn't heard anything to the contrary, and every time he's been there.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of these.
And it's safe to say Pat Dungan was there first.
Tells me how old I am.
At 86, he'd like you to think he needs record books to refresh his memory.
Oh yeah.
He's not one to volunteer a story, and there are some worth forgetting.
When you have 3 wins, you can't remember too much about that.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But moments don't become legend without eyewitnesses, meaning Pat is a co-author of Tiger Stadium's lore.
Parties, when I used to go out and sell Cokes, it was, most of the games was in the daytime. And then it got to be night, and it got louder and wilder.
So you watched the birth of Saturday night in Death Valley?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pat's yelled with the loudest crowds and felt LSU's sweetest victories, all from Section 419, row 5. Seats 13 and 14, and his presence was no product of luck.
And I was like, you haven't missed a single home game since 1950, whatever. I said, no, I've been there. I mean, I knew he'd been there every time we've been there.
Last season's home finale was Pat's 433rd consecutive game inside Tiger Stadium. That streak began 66 years ago, and he sat in the same spot since 1959.
I bought 2 tickets, cost me $5 a ball game.
Wow.
Since then, it's gone up and up and up. In the 50s, you went out there dressed up. I wore a sport coat, bought my data corsage. The women wore fancy coats, fur coats in 90-degree weather. And now, they dress worse than I do when I mow my grass.
These days, Pat's great-grandson sits where his dates used to. He's only sold his second ticket once, he doesn't tailgate, and he's never left a game early.
Here we are, you know, way younger than Pat. We've been gone, you know, and he's lighting and everything else. He's sitting there.
A lot of people say, how did you not miss a game in that many years? You ain't ever been sick, blessed with good health.
But blessings haven't made him especially sentimental. He says he might have kept some ticket stubs and programs had he known his streak would last 6 decades. The LSU trinkets that color his home were mostly gifts.
A friend of mine gave me that championship ball.
His focus has always been on the game.
And I used to tell my mama, and my wife would get so mad. I'd say, Mama, whatever you do, don't die when LSU's playing in town. I hate that I'm going to miss this game against Mississippi State. But
the coronavirus will rob Pat of his streak in this view. He gave up his seats after the school couldn't promise he'd get to attend each game.
I may ride out there that morning just to say that I did go to Tiger Stadium that day.
A metal fence will force him to a friend's house where he usually watches road games. There are no Saturdays marked on Pat's 2020 calendar, and Tiger Stadium will be short a storyteller. But the pandemic cannot erase the chapters he's already written.
If I've got to quit going, at least I'll remember the last season I saw. It's been a good one.
Pat says he intends to begin a new streak in 2021. A return that'd be about more than football for the people around him.
If he's back, I'm back. We're back. Everybody's back. You know, we're back there. Everything's back to normal. It's almost like Norm walking into Cheers.
Jake would tell you it's evidence that faith and fandom are not contained in the pantheon of concrete and steel. There's a piece of Pat Dungan in Tiger Stadium and a piece of the stadium in Pat, and that will keep his seat warm.